So I wanted to come up with a way for me to obviously showcase my abilities, but again, about brand awareness, that's helping me connect with others, but also helping other fellow entrepreneurs and experts showcase them by giving them a stage as well.
Welcome to the My Future Business Show, where we get you in front of your best audience and keep you there. Not only are we interviewing the biggest names in business to help you become even more successful, we're inviting you to book your spot on the show to help you grow your business. So at the end of the call, make sure you fill in the interview application form at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. Hi, it's Rick Nusky and welcome back to the My Future Business Show. I'm on the line with Colleen Kavanaugh. How are you, Colleen?
I am fabulous. Thank you for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
It's absolutely my treat. In fact, we're going to be talking about yourgiggirl.com. But before we deep dive into that, along with cultivateyoursuccess.com, love to share a little bit about yourself for the My Future Business audience.
Yes, exactly. So your gig girl, and gig meaning not computers. I am not a computer person.
Oh, me neither.
Exactly. Gigs meaning fun gigs. I have a background. I actually have a diversified background, but I have a passion for being on stage. I've been on stage since I was 4 years old in some form, shape, or form. And so gigs meaning I've done a little bit of entertainment. I worked in the theme parks in Florida, in Orlando, in different areas. And I've also done experiential marketing. So that means we go out to events and we give people an experience. So those are kind of fun gigs here and there. And voiceovers, I dabbled into voiceovers, so I would get a voiceover gig here and there. But when I first came up with Your Gig Girl 6 years ago, it was to become more of my own business because I was already doing this for other companies,
Right.
but I wanted to make it my own. So that's where that came from.
So where are you based at the moment?
Tampa, Florida. Woohoo, nice and sunny with palm trees.
Oh, goodness me. We're in the deep, dark depths of winter over here. But I know that you've had some pretty incredible roles. Sports host of ESPN, Wide World of Sports, game show host for Nickelodeon. How do all of these things come about for you? Is it because of your voice? Could you share a little bit about that with us?
Well, I will have to say, I don't want to take credit for too much. God gave me the gift of the voice. But it just started with auditioning. You know, I auditioned at Disney World in Orlando, and that's where the ESPN Wide World of Sports is. That's one of their venues there. And so that's how I got that gig. And the Nickelodeon gig, they had a part at Universal Studios where I helped with more or less the where the or when the guests come through, the guests of the park come through. And from there, because I had a little bit of experience at that Nickelodeon Studios, I then was hired as a game show host at Nickelodeon Suites, which was the hotel just outside of Orlando. Again, that whole Nickelodeon theme. It was so much fun. Yeah, I loved it.
I'm a big fan of Disney. Obviously, that experiential marketing component's really quite important, and we can carry it over into our business life. Now, the My Future Business audience are beginner entrepreneurs and existing small to medium sized businesses. Colleen, if they don't really know about marketing, what would be some of the things that you would say to that new person coming into this space?
Well, what I learned when I started is brand yourself. And actually, my branding could be a little bit better. I'll be honest, I'm not the best branding, but I knew that just branding myself, first of all, and what I did is I made sure I was all over social media with the same name. So you can find me on most social media platforms as Your Gig Girl. So that would be one thing that I would recommend as a new business owner. Obviously, I mean, I'm not telling anybody anything new, but social media is huge. And as far as experiential marketing, what I've learned, because what I did is I took what I learned from all of these different gigs and jobs that I've had in the past, and I've been able to apply it to my own business right now of doing business conferences. But don't be afraid to get out there and go to an event, be a vendor, purchase a vendor table and get your brand out there. Even if it's just getting people's names on an email list, you want to get your name heard. So, and that's what we did in experiential marketing, getting leads, just letting everybody know about your brand. You might not be selling anything, but brand awareness.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you've got some obviously some great stories that you would have to have had from these places. I'd love to hear about one or two of them if we could. What are some of the most memorable moments that you've had?
Oh, I could go on.
Uh-huh.
Well, did you know I used to work on a cruise ship too?
Fantastic. I love
Hmm.
cruise ships.
Yes. And so I was, we won't go into some of those parties, but, or those stories, I already said it. But I guess, a story about something, oh, that was the most incredible job I've ever had. And that really helped hone my skills
Yes.
as an MC,
Oh,
because
yes.
really prior to that, I had been more of an actor, and you never broke that fourth wall.
Yep.
But as a business owner, I mean, you don't have to have an MC, you don't have to be an MC, you don't have to be an actor, but you do need to have some presentation skills, stage presence, and especially if you're a business owner, you're a sales director, or you're just leading a team, you do need some basics when it comes to stage presence and leading and presentations. And so, okay, so back to the original question was, tell us a story. You can't be afraid to get up in front of people, even though we know speaking in public is the
Ter-
number one fear,
Terrifying, yes.
but you just got to wing it. And we did that a lot on the cruise ships, where, I mean, my job was, I had to, when y'all are laying down nice and relaxed out on the pool deck, and I'm yelling on the microphone trying to get you all up to come play, men's sexy legs competition or something,
Hey, I must have
like,
been on that cruise. I remember
right.
that.
So it's like you really have to be persuasive and have to command an audience. And I learned how to do that because my job was to get everybody up and have fun and do it in a way that was enticing. So whether or not you're leading a group of salespeople or maybe getting them motivated,
Yep.
you have to find a way to get them motivated and, make it fun for them. I always tried to make it fun. And so I learned so much. Gosh, I don't know. It was just, I could probably go on and
You
on all the
probably you've
stories.
probably got a bag of stories to share. I'm thinking about introversion, extroversion. Which one do
Yeah.
you think you are, and has it had an impact on how you, I guess, manage yourself in the workplace?
Wow, that's a good question. I always used to thought, oh, I'm so extroverted.
Uh huh.
Well, I guess the true definition I've heard is what gives you energy. And I believe I call myself an extroverted introvert.
Introvert. Yes.
Yeah, because I don't mind. I love, obviously I'm not shy. Okay. I have no problem getting up on stage. Apparently I didn't have that problem when I was 4 years old either. So that was just in me, since I was little
Yes.
to perform, right? But I do have to have my alone time. So
Mm-hmm.
I can only handle so much networking or being around. And I said, okay, I'm done. I need to go home. And like I don't even listen to the TV. I don't even listen to music. I just like it quiet and relaxed. And that's how I gain my energy. So an extroverted introvert.
Introvert. Thank you so much for sharing. That's wonderful insight. Let's talk a little bit about mindset. This is obviously a big piece of everybody's existence. You know, the psychology behind how we are in the workplace. How is mindset affecting your gig girl and what you teach others?
Oh, well, a huge part of it is having faith. And in order to have faith, obviously you want to be careful what thoughts you're thinking. And I mean, let's just say when I started this journey 6 years ago as your
Yes.
gig girl, I had to take a leap of faith and quit my consistent job. And I just became an independent contractor. And you know what? God has provided, not that I've been sitting, I mean, I've been hustling, don't get me wrong.
Having to
I
do the
have been
work.
hustling. Okay. but having the faith that it will all work out. And again, if you're working it, but the mindset, yeah, a mindset of abundance and not of fear. And I struggle with that
Yes.
every day. I mean, not every day, but depending on the situation, we got to really be able to overcome those thoughts quickly, identify them, and tell them to leave and think of
Yes.
something.
Something that's come to mind, Colleen, is when you do have these dips in, this confidence. We all have this wave of, I'm great, I'm full of confidence today, tomorrow I'm not. Who do you turn to? What do you listen to, and where do you get your inspiration from?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Because I am a personal development junkie,
Yes, yes,
I could turn on, gosh, any of these great YouTube. But to be honest, I am a believer of faith. And actually, I listen to a lot of Joyce Meyer because she talks about, she's a famous evangelist,
yes, yes.
and she talks a lot about the mind and the mouth. And that's those are the topics that I like. And so I'll tune into her, but I also tune in to my very positive, encouraging and uplifting friends and business coaches.
Yes.
And my I'll just Clustine Herbert, she's called the Purpose Coach, based out of the same area as me.
Mm-hmm.
And she really puts me in line.
Yes.
So if there was one person, it's her I call, and she helps me get rid of that. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're right. You're right. I shouldn't be thinking that. And as she says, because I do have such a powerful voice, I really have to be careful about what I'm speaking out of my mouth, you know, right? What
Now,
we're putting into existence, right?
I suspect then, given the importance of your voice, staying healthy and looking after it is very important for somebody in your role, a line of work. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
obviously hydration, but do we do anything else to make, do our best to stay healthy? What's your, I guess, your daily routine look like?
I like to jog. I used to be a huge runner. I don't run as much as I used to. So I will go out and do a little jog
Yes.
about 3 times a week. And if I can squeeze in some swing dancing, I love to dance.
Yes.
So, and that is, I will get winded after a 3 minute dance because your hands, you're up there swinging
Oh,
around,
yes.
especially on those fast-paced songs and disco night and things like that. And so those are the ways that I like to get my exercise. I used to be a gym rat,
Yes.
but my degree is actually in fitness. I actually ended up switching, but then I came back to my passion, being on stage. But for a small stint, I was a personal trainer and all that. So I used to love going to the gym, but I really don't do anything much.
I can tell you're a vibrant person. You've got a lot of get up and go. Yes, pump those arms, get the muscles out there. And I'd just love to go into the event planning space, and what are some of the things that you can take your clients through, and those who you are teaching. What is this all about?
Yes. So I have helped numerous, a few other speakers
Mm-hmm.
in personal and professional development, and I help them with their events. And and that's in that industry. But like I said, all the other industries that I've worked in experiential marketing, I helped with the setup and things like that.
Yep.
So I have a lot of experience in different areas. So even hospitality. So everything that I've learned is now being used. I know how to read a BEO, a banquet event order, because I worked in hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, what's a BEO, right?
Yeah.
So these are little things that I just picked up over the years. And so for me to host an event, it's almost like I could do it in my sleep. I mean, not to brag, don't get me wrong. It's still very hard work. It's a little stressful,
Mm.
but I've just been around it enough that it's, I kind of, and so you're asking like how I train
Yeah, well,
or,
look, how do you get in flow, and how do you teach others that are around you what you expect of them, and what they can do?
Okay, like as far as my team goes?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, I usually have, I might even be somewhat of a micromanager, but I'm pretty detailed. I let loose. It was so great. My last conference, I had like 6 people helping me,
Yep.
and I gave specific duties. Like everybody knew what they had to do.
Hmm.
They all knew what they were doing. I didn't really have to train anybody in them. So I guess the first thing would be make sure you pick somebody that hopefully has a little idea of what you want them to do. If
Yes.
not, you need to train them.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And it was ridiculous. Like I felt like I was on cloud nine because everything was going smooth and I wasn't doing anything. I'm like, I should be doing something, but like everything's going. I was like, what?
Is
Because
that,
I am running around doing different things.
do you find it hard to let go? I do.
Sometimes,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. I'm looking here on your bio, and it talks about you being the founder and the host of the Cultivate Personal and Professional Development Conference Series. Can we talk a little
Yeah.
bit about that?
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, I love personal and professional development.
Hmm.
And again, helping with different speakers in the area. I've helped with events as small as 20, 30 people and events as big as 7,000 attendees. So I've seen how some different things are going, but your average nice conference will be anywhere from, 30, 40 people to about 200. A nice conference.
Nice
That's
number. Yep.
and it really depends on it's not necessarily the how many people you get there. Of course, it's the quality and your niche, the people
Yes.
you to
How
be there.
responsive they are.
Yeah. So I wanted to come up with a way for me to obviously showcase my abilities, but again, about brand awareness, that's helping me connect with others, but also helping other fellow entrepreneurs and experts
Hmm.
showcase them by giving them a stage as well. And this particular, so the Cultivate Your Success is like the umbrella
Yep.
of the events. And then I choose the different topics. So that's how that all came about.
It's a great name.
And yeah, personal and professional development.
Yeah,
Yep.
fantastic. Now, there it is, and we are obviously going to make some URL links back to all of those things for everybody who's watching the post today. Um, with regard to the Cultivate Your Success site, is this an online experience or is it offline? How does it work?
Okay, well, the site right now is actually directed towards the Eventbrite. It's the invitation to the current event.
Yes.
But once that event is over, it will be more or less a website of what's going on of past events and upcoming events. And I'm still recreating that. I'm going to make a separate website for Cultivate Your Success.
Hmm.
And I might also include a blog. I already have a current blog. Well, it's not very current, but I have a blog. But
It
yeah,
happens.
so there's so much to do. I need to hire some help. I need some help. It's tough. But so yeah, it's so my vision is to have a separate site for Cultivate Your Success, blog, upcoming events, and self-help type things.
Yeah, fantastic. Great feedback. Thank you so much. I notice here that you're doing a fair bit of speaking. What is coming up for you next?
Yeah, so Cultivate Your Voice is coming up August 2nd here in the
Fantastic.
Tampa Bay area. hmm Yep. And so this is just, I'm very excited because this is like my thing. There's so many avenues around the voice. I have a personal signature program myself that goes into more detail about the inner voice and the
Yes.
outer voice.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, so that we could go for hours, but so I'll be speaking a little bit about the expertise that I know, stage presence, your mindset, and we're going to do even a quick outline of how to plan your own business seminar.
Oh,
Okay.
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So we're talking about your event voice, your insight, your inner voice. And some of my other guest speakers are going to be talking about your social media voice, your PR voice, your public relations voice. So all of these things people need to have a successful business, especially if you want to go to the next level. Why not do a podcast just like you're doing, right? How long have you been doing this podcast?
At least 3 years now.
Wow. Okay. So, do you feel like it has also helped your business as
Oh,
well? Or is this
absolutely,
yeah.
and completely. The whole mission for the show is to help others. And it certainly is getting that exposure and helping others to
Yeah, so that's
share
on
their
my
message.
list. Yeah, that's totally on my list, is to get my podcast. And we actually have Chris Krimitos, and he is one of the podcast experts here in the area. So he's
Fantastic.
speaking on podcasting, and just we have an author, and she's a 2-time author, and she's a publisher. She has her own publishing company. So we're talking about the written word as well, how important it is to have a book as your
Yes.
business card. So we're talking about all different aspects of your voice to get your voice heard, both online and offline. And that inside voice is where it all starts.
I tell you what, it's coming across to me that you've mapped out the entire journey from the moment that I think, hey, look, I've got a business idea, I'm going to start a business, all the way through to, taking the money through the door at the event. That's just such a wonderful thing. How long does it take to put together something like this? Months?
Okay, well, this event in particular, I always tell people at least start 3 months out, but really you need 4 months.
Yes.
I'm finding, because I am going nonstop right now. But once you start getting PR, like this podcast, if I start doing interviews and things like this,
Mm-hmm.
Really, we need to get started 4 months. And this is not going to be like a huge event. Now, the bigger the event, the podcast guy, he hosts a very maybe you can come to America, but he will. I saw him advertising 6 months out for his Podfest. It's called the Podfest Expo. 6 months out, so that's a big event.
Yes. Oh, well, look, I've been there for podcasting before. There's no problems with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, but if you're just planning a small lunch and learn, or maybe a half-day seminar, maybe a month or 2 out. So it really depends on how much is going into it. Are you going to do a lot of PR? Are you going to do a lot of whatever? Is food involved? Just different things. Do you have other people involved? Are you going to be, networking and trying to fill the seats? Or do you already know who's coming? And if marketing is not even an issue, then you don't have to. But if you are responsible for filling your own seats,
Yes.
that's where you really need to plan 3-4 months out.
Well, that's some sage advice there. Now, if anybody wants to work with you, learn from you, where is the best place to find you, and what is the process when they get there?
Okay, yourgiggirl.com, and my email is yourgiggirl@gmail. And the process would be, we would sit down and see what kind of training you would need. Now, I am not an event planner
Mm-hmm.
because it's stressful enough to plan my own event.
I can imagine.
So if you're looking to plan a big event, we can refer you to another event planner. However, I would be more than happy to help coach you and consult you more or less in the right direction, and kind of sit down and see what type of event you're looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and see, if that's where I can help you. Usually more business related events, but we can see what type of event you are looking to do, a tasting event, whatever your product or service is.
Yes.
I can help you. We can discuss some different ideas, and it'll be fun. And so, so that's what we'll do. And we'll sit down and see how much of, the person might like to organize it. Maybe they're a good planner themselves,
Yep.
but they just need some direction.
Yeah, you might, spark their excitement about that whole process. So everybody who's on the call today, if that is you, if you're looking to set up an event, regardless of your products and services, reach out to Colleen at yourgiggirl.com. Colleen, it's just been an absolutely wonderful treat spending some time with you on the My Future Business Show today.
Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. This was so exciting. You are an awesome host too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the call, then make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends, and book your spot on the show at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. And if you're looking for solutions that will help grow your business, then visit myfuturebusiness.com/shop.